Hello and welcome to today's Nexus report as we cover the moves that took place with IG and Leviton, as well as go over some series that took place in Brazil and Europe today. First, IG. These were rumored to be coming down the pipe, and it's come to fruition here. IG are running an odd roster nonetheless. Um, so they're going to have Breathe in top lane. He played with Weibo last year. Breathe is obviously a world-class top laner. Solid at worst and good at best in the top lane for all things considered. A 3.1 KDA, 57 KP, 8 CS per minute, 147 ROI, 0.9 share differential, so pretty even spread there. 251 vision efficiency, went even in lane at 15 minutes, one solo kill every 7 games or so. Now, where things are getting interesting, Fnatic is out, Shaki is in. And with that, they're also going to play Renard in mid in place of Rookie. So Rookie is not playing this split, to at least the beginning, and Renard is playing. So they've went from a Rookie top laner in Saboro to a Rookie mid laner in Renard. But we're not talking about him because, it's actually a player that's in the system. He's not from outside of the team. Jackie had a 2.5 KDA, 65 KP, 9.9 CS per minute with top esports in winter. Obviously, that team much maligned due to Nayu's antics. Who knows if this kid could have been at first stand? Who knows how well they do if BLG aren't there? BLG win it for China as a possible top esports could have? Probably not, but at the same time, they could have been there if Nayu didn't throw and match fix. 165 ROI. 2.6 share differential, 316 vision efficiency, laning wise behind 64 gold. Did play with Feng Yu at support, and he's with Mako now, so that's an improvement. One new champion every 3 games or so. Fnatic's numbers are very similar, despite the team not doing as well on paper. I mean, actually better KDA, slightly better KP in CS per minute. ROI similar, share differential the same, vision a little better. Just 1 second. So the numbers are very much the same with Fnatic. So it's an interesting one. I think people would say, oh, Fnatic, this, that, and the third about him over his career, and you have the nice, shiny new toy as a rookie. But Fnatic didn't do terrible. And then Jue, 2.7 KDA, 71 KP, 0.7 ROI, more traditional support. A solid player, somebody that's been around the block now on a few different teams. Deserves a better, more solid opportunity. Thankfully, they did let him go so he could go seek other work. There are teams that he would definitely improve. Vision efficiency, okay. Him and Fnatic were behind about 420 gold on average at 15 minutes, which isn't great, but his numbers weren't terrible. One new champion every 4 games or so. Helper is the coach. Mafa is out. Mafa went 2-8 in the regular season in best of 3s and 2-3 in best of 5s in the playoffs. Helper was the coach of PSG in 2021. He also was the coach of Anyone's Legend this past winter. So 35-1, 8-2 in the regular season. Yeah, that PSG roster, the one that actually killed everybody in the PCS in 2021. 8-3 in best of 5s in playoffs, and 13-9 in best of 1s internationally, and 0-1 in best of 5s. Kuki is the new coach of Leviton. He coached Isurus in Latin America in 2023 and 2024, I believe. He went 8-4 as a coach in best of 3s, and then 3-3 in best of 5s with that opportunity. And now he's coaching Leviton. Kaiba has been dropped to an assistant. To recap the games, Vivo Keat Stars beat Pain 2-0. I went 4-0 on the day in predictions. If you'd like to participate in predictions and keep track with everybody else, join the Discord. The Discord is a great place for predictions. We're pretty, we've had better days activity-wise. View it like a bar, if you will. There are not really many esports bars around. So the best you can do is go to a Discord server, pull up, watch a game and talk about it with people in the server. So if you'd like to join the Discord, there's a lot going on in there. New fans, old fans. We try and have a welcoming community for those that are new. Vivo Keat Stars into pain though, 2-0 win. They were dominant, had 74% of the minutes played in this one. Sayo had a 2v2 kill, 13, 2, 3, and 20. Led in damage share, 33%, and kill participation, 79%. We had Curry, 349, in support for pain. Trigger, 31. Damage share, Samkeys, 93% damage shares. Kill participation. He struggled a bit in this one in his debut into Dismiss, which is something we expected. Drakes were 4-3 for Vivo Keat Stars. Barons were split 1-1. That's the tale of this a little bit here. Payne took a Baron to try and slow a game down. Negative 224 gold on that power play. So really, truly only slowed the game down. VKS, 5,800 gold with theirs. Myru had 2 solo kills. Robo had 1 as well. In terms of the early game, we did see Robo get the better of Weiser over the series, an 82 gold lead in the early game. But the rest, 681 for Dismiss, 906 for Sayo and Kaiwing. So on average, it's about a 1,700 gold lead or so. 1,700 gold lead for VKS in the early game. And it was number 51 versus 58 in the power rankings. Fluxo and Leviton, 57 versus 54. Fluxo win 2-0 in what was a sloppy game too, to say it the least. 58-42 advantage, but it looked like two teams that did not know how to win games. 7-5 in Drakes, 2-1 in Barons. Cody went, what do I have here? 12, 2, and 17 with 2 solo kills, 28% of damage, 74 kill participation. Led in all 3 categories. Bookie, 8, 6, and 13. He had a solo kill as well in the jungle with a 95 KP. A pretty damn good series in a losing effort. Snaker, 26% of the team's damage. Curdy had 3 solo kills into Devost, which is notable because Devost had like 17 solo. He had the highest solo kills per game out of anyone in Tier 1 in Winter. He had 17, which is insane. Peach had a solo kill as well. Fluxo about a 3,900 gold lead, 4,000 gold lead per Baron. Leviton only 566. Early game, Fluxo dominated in every area. Like I said, the game 2 was really very much Fluxo not knowing how to win. 1,400 gold lead for the top side, about 700 gold lead or so for the bot side for Fluxo. On average, 1,400, 2,000 gold lead on average at 15 minutes, so pretty dominant effort. Heretics and SK. So, I don't have gold control because for some reason, Game of Legend does not have the stats out. I don't know what's going on with Grid for them not to be able to get it because Leaguepedia has theirs, Oracle's Elixir had theirs. But unfortunately, they don't do the gold graph like Game of Legend does. So, that is a thing. But Heretics took 10 of 15 Drakes and 3 of 4 Barons in this one in the 33 versus 50 matchup. Now, Heretics 2-1 win. That one for SK was very much Heretics losing. That was not SK winning as much as Heretics losing. SK did give Heretics a handful in Game 3 in what was a crushing game for Heretics that they simply couldn't end. But regardless, this was Heretics start to finish. Saren had a solo kill going 22, 3, and 19. Sheo, 71 KP. Ice, 28 damage share. 3,400 gold power play per Baron for Heretics. Yappa, 8, 11, 13, 34 damage share. Mickey X had a solo kill, 86% of the team's damage. Wrong, 86 kill participation. Tracing into Wonder, very much the Tracing show. 3 solo kills in that matchup. Up 1,500 gold damn near in that matchup. Setting up for Knock Knocko versus Tracing tomorrow. That'll be a fun one. Skeens had a solo kill. Wei had a solo kill. Ice and Wei did great, especially in Game 3, as SK really tried to force bot lane dives and could not do it worth a shit. Heretics just absorbed all of SK's pressure, attempts to dive, etc., and turned it on SK repeatedly. Just a better team. When we look at the early game, like I said, Trayson up 1467, Sheo 815, Saren 333, Ice and Way 1709. That's a 2000. We're looking at like a 4,500 gold lead on average at 15 while the first turret falling. 4,500 gold is significant. That is a very big difference in the early game. Koi and Fnatic. Koi would take 10 of 12 Drakes, take all 3 Barons. 17 versus 29 matchup. Supa 2v2 kill, 11-1-18. Actually, I think that was a solo. 11-1-18. Elyoya had a solo, 79 KP. Jojo crushed Vladi, 30% of the team's damage, and 3 solo kills. The Azir matchup in particular, very one-sided. He had on average a 1,600 gold lead in the mid lane between the 2 games. Upset had a 2v2 kill, 11-6-6, 34% of the team's damage, 89 KP. It was definitely not his fault that they lost. Leading in damage share, not dying. I understand he's a KDA merchant at times, but the damage is there, the kill participation is there, and he did lead in the early game. Him and Lospa combined for about a 267 gold lead. You could say is nothing, and it is, but when everything else is going the wrong way, at least somebody had a decent early game, and it was them. Otherwise, we're looking at 2,500 gold lead for Koi on average at 15 minutes. Mirwin had 2 solo kills. Koi averaged 3,200 gold a Baron. Pretty one-sided, and it actually caused some changes in the power rankings, so we'll talk about that now. Okay, so with the power rankings, I kept this up here for the most part. That's kind of rubbed off, but just for people that may have missed how this came about, watch yesterday's video to understand what this means. But I did drop NIP and Team Wii. I changed the tier rating from LPL playoffs outright to a hybrid between LPL playoffs and LPL non-playoff team, which is significant enough because there's everybody else that made playoffs in the region that literally they get dropped beneath. So there is that. And that caused NIP to drop from what was like 8th or 9th to 29th or 27th. And then they dropped one more today. Team Wii also dropped significantly. They dropped like 10 spots as well because they did the same thing NIP did. Made playoffs. So they should be rated higher than a non-playoff team in the LPL, but also make note of the fact that they were in a lower level of play during the regular season than other LPL teams. But in terms of movement today, we saw Koi move up 3 spots with their dominant win into Fnatic, which resulted in Fnatic dropping 3 spots from 29 to 32. Heretics leapfrogged Fnatic and other teams that obviously aren't playing right now, because Heretics, in those 3 games, really were the better team in all 3, stacking stats. Unfortunately, not the win rate stack because they lost that game, the game 1, but they were ahead for the majority. And that caused them to rise. And a lot of other teams end up moving as a result of all these stats changing of the teams that play and how they compare in those stats. But for the most part, we're seeing a rise with Heretics, and it's notable. That's a fun team. Trayson's a fun player, somebody that we've talked about for a couple of years now. People in my Discord started talking about him before I even did. A really disgusting top laner that sat behind Carlson last year, and that's not Carlson's fault. He's also a great young top laner in his own right. But Trayson's a difference maker up there. And Knock Knocko's getting all the pizzazz, but it's really going to be a fun matchup. He might get smoked by Knock Knocko. I'm hyping it up, and he could get smoked. But that's still a fun matchup between 2 young, aspiring to be great top laners in Europe. Other movement here of teams that played, really only Leviton dropped. The thing is, like, VKS are going to struggle to move up because they suck so bad in winter. Pain aren't going anywhere. You can't go these guys can't move, right? So that is what it is. SK is down here in the first place. They're not going to move much. It's going to be more so when we see the end of the regular season into playoffs, the way the tier ranking works, that's going to affect things more than even these individual games. But this seems solid right now. So that's it for the video. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, like it. Subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter. Join the Discord. Become a YouTube supporter. And hope to see you again tomorrow.